good afternoon to our listeners. Once again, it's always a pleasure to come your way every Wednesday with your favorite business development program on radio, Masterclass. Masterclass is powered by Joy Business. It's the 28th of November today, and in less than 1 month, Christmas will be here. On the show, we have been asking these questions for a couple of weeks now. We'll keep asking these questions until the year runs out. So these are the questions that we have been asking. As a business, have you started planning to take advantage of the season yet? Have you thought of promotional sales? Have you thought of increasing your advertising? Have you thought of a strategy to push out the remainder of your stock before the year runs out? Have you even started planning for next year? Have you thought of your budgeting in terms of your targets? All those things. Have you started thinking about them? If you have not, then now is the time to start so that you can stay ahead of the competition. And our prayer, as has always been on the show, is that God bless our homeland, Ghana, and definitely make our nation great and strong. On this note, we wish to welcome all of you, our cherished listeners, once again to your favorite business development program on Radio Masterclass. Masterclass is powered by Joy Business and comes your way every Wednesday at 1:15 p.m. and runs all the way through to 2 p.m. right here on your superstation Joy 99.7. My name is Yabanafo, and I'm your host for the show. Before we continue, we do apologize for not bringing you Masterclass last week, but 2 weeks ago when we were here on the show, we had with us a wonderful, vibrant gentleman, the person of Bob Hodgson, who was a member of Tech Shelter. Tech Shelter was one of the winning groups that came out of the Cosmos Agritech Challenge. Cosmos Agritech Challenge. This was a challenge put together by Cosmos, yes, the oil company Cosmos. And the aim or the target, in putting this challenge together essentially was to help create one entrepreneur at a time. And so they'll put a lot of people together in a certain place, camp them, and they'll go through a long process. I think 10 months it was, going through a process of bringing up different business ideas and finding out which of those ideas were viable. And if you won, I understand there was a prize amount of up to about $50,000 for the winning group. So we had Tech Shelter in the studio last week, and they shared their experience with us and what they do. Essentially, what Tech Shelter does is that they do greenhouse design agriculture, and so they can sort of design exactly how they want the product to come out, but they do all of this in a greenhouse. And so they're able to come out with tomato, with cucumber, with peppers, with all the vegetables, just name them. Today we want to go and meet or have a discussion with another one of the winning groups that was in the competition. And they're called Growth Factor. Growth Factor. Today they're here with us on the show, and they're represented by, should I say, the communications person on the team in the person of Kelvin Tyrone. He'll be telling us why he has a name that doesn't sound Ghanaian. But Kelvin, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Right, it's an absolute pleasure to have you. I suppose you know Bob, right?
Yes, I do.
Bob was in the studio with us last week.
Yes, I do.
He was meant to be here today. Maybe he'll join us at some point. Kelvin, before we start the show, before we talk about Growth Factor, I always like to do this when we start the show. People need to be able to connect at a certain level. Who's Kelvin? What school did you go to? What's your favorite sport? What kind of music do you like? What football team do you support?
Okay.
Yeah, just a bit about you.
So.
And where'd you come from? Yes.
I'm from Ada.
Kelvin from Ada.
Yes.
So all the Ada folk, your boys in the studio today.
Yes.
But you should have an Ada name then, isn't it?
Luchu.
Right. That's more Ghanaian, isn't it? All right. So I've got Luchu in the studio this afternoon. All my Ada folk. Big ups to you this afternoon.
Sure.
So Kelvin, tell us, what school did you go to, alma mater?
Okay, so my mom went to Presec Boys Legon. And then,
the Presec?
Yes. But I'm another day.
Other day?
Yes.
Okay, so all the other days, your boys in the studio as well?
Yes.
Right. Favorite football team?
Favorite football team, I'll say Barcelona.
Barcelona?
Yes.
What's happening to them lately? We'll talk about music shortly. What kind of music do you like? Just so I can start putting it together for you before we come to.
You want specific tracks or?
Genre music.
You let's start. Give me Boys Casa and let's go.
Okay, Boys Casa.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll mention that to my producer. We'll try and get that for you. But We're talking about Barcelona. Mm-hmm. What's the performance lately?
I'm one of those people that supports the football team from the back.
It almost sounds like me.
We follow the team once in a while. We show up, we look at what's going on. Oh yeah. Then we just
but you don't do all the arguments about it and all of that.
No, I don't. Okay. The most I do is maybe I really play a lot of games. So
right.
Play a lot of games. So, yeah.
Right. Time check in the studio. 27 minutes past the hour of 1. I think I have Boys Casa. Let's take a listen and then we'll continue the discussion after that.
Sure.
Right.
Saga. Eba, King Kiba. Boys the cassava de kwa. Be flavor. Yeah.
Let's go.
Eba, King Kiba. Boys the cassava de kwa. Ope flavor. Yeah.
Feeling the AD, all the mother girls feeling me. Young Daddy Lumba with the steez. But EBU way I pick, yeah. Say I can't hunt it. Or then it's our many. The name who I want to say I Kim Promise.
All for you. Yeah, you know 1-1, but see I fall for 2. Magic stick touching, feel the cruise. What we did do, me hun sempi, see where in any taste and see, I know quite the penny. Me ex and me next new bianchin and into me sending the pictures, Eddie in a hit.
Eba, King Kiba. Boys the cassava de kwa. Be flavor. Yeah. Eba, King Kiba. Boys the cassava de kwa. Ope flavor. Yeah.
Right, that was Boys Cassava, R2B's All Stars. If you've just tuned in, you are live on your superstation Joy 99.7, and this is Masterclass. We're spending time in the studio with Kelvin Lochu Tyrone, who is a representative of communications person for one of the winning groups of the Cosmos Agritech Challenge, and the name of the company is Growth Factor. So, Kelvin, what is Growth Factor? I think we've spent enough time talking about the challenge, or maybe you'd like to share for just 2 minutes what your experience was in the challenge and how you arrived at the name Growth Factor, and then we can take it from there. Yes,
Sure.
Right. So talk to us.
So the challenge, the Cosmos Innovation Challenge is a program, or say let's say a challenge organized by Cosmos Energy, the oil company, as you said.
Right.
And they take you through the whole value chain of agriculture, from the farmer all the way to, say, the processing house.
Right.
So you get to interact directly with everyone in the value chain, so you can understand the problems. Because the process of coming up with business ideas is not about focusing on the solution, but it's about the problem. So they get you closer to the problem, you understand it, you experience it for yourself, and then the solution just jumps out at you. So that's what happens in the Cosmos Innovation Center. And then they refine you, mentorship, a number of other things.
So it's more like a user-centered
Exactly.
approach to agriculture.
Exactly.
How did you arrive at the name Growth Factor?
Okay, so what we do, the fundamental of a business was invoice factoring. So our mindset when we came up with this name was, we're going to grow factoring in Africa because it's a tool for helping SMEs get access to finance without the hurdles of going through traditional banking finance, basically. So our aim was to make sure that factoring goes in Africa, and not starting from Ghana, going to Nigeria, and expanding across basically the whole continent. Yes.
So just so that we understand this clearly, your product is a service.
Yes, it's a service.
Is it the same thing as, and I'm asking this question deliberately because I just want the clarification to be clear for our listeners.
Sure.
It's only limited to the agricultural sector, yes?
No, it's not limited to the agricultural sector. The thing is, when we started our research, we spoke to the agricultural sector and we noticed there was a problem that's very deep in there. But as we kept talking to more users, we noticed that it's something that's industry-wide. So from mining to retail to different types of industries, we noticed it's a problem that goes across. So we've expanded our product. Even though KIC took us to understand for agriculture,
right,
it's something we've expanded wide right now.
So you're actually open to industries across?
Yes, definitely. If the
across specification?
Yes, if the SME fits the criteria we are in.
Right. What does Growth Factor do? When you say invoice factoring, is this the same as pre-financing?
No, not exactly. So the way invoice factoring works is this. Mostly when the SMEs are dealing with other clients, mostly larger than them, they are supposed to take long payment terms. So 30 days, 90 days, 180 days. But say if I'm a business and I have salaries to pay in 30 days and you're telling me you pay me in 180 days, I have employees complaining. So what happens is Growth Factor comes in, we pay the invoice immediately, and then we take over the invoice. So we will wait the 180 days and receive the payment on the 180 day, on the 180th day. Exactly.
Pretty much, so you provide financial support.
Exactly.
Does this come at a premium for the receiver? When I say premium, I'm not even talking about insurance yet. I'm talking about the person who accesses your service.
Yes.
Do they pay something on top of what you give them at the end of time?
Yes. So what happens is this. You give us the invoice. If it's a 100 CDs, we'll give you up to 80 CDs in the loan. So when your client pays back, we take a certain percentage plus the 80 CDs we gave to you, and then we send the rest back to you.
But if you finance only up to 80%,
Yes.
that means that the customer should bear the 20%.
No. So what happens is the remaining 20%,
Yes.
we take our charges out of there. So the delays, anything that comes involved based on the time that has gone when the loan has been given
Right.
to you, we deduct and then we send the rest back to you, basically. So if it
I see what you
comes
mean.
within a month, you get the rest is yours. We just deduct how much we took and then we give it
So
back to you.
is it computed per size of amount of business, quantum of business, or is computed as a flat rate percentage of whatever is giving out?
So we have a number of data points that we use.
Right.
So we crunch numbers based on invoicing data we pick from you, the clients. We also crunch numbers based on invoicing data from our partners, using industry, understanding how the industries are performing basically, to know whether the risk of payments at certain points in time. So all those things help us set the rates which we give out to you.
Right.
Yes.
So, I mean, essentially what you're saying is that a kind of risk assessment
Yes.
or risk profiling is done
Yes,
before the support is given out.
exactly.
Brilliant. If you've just tuned in, this is Masterclass right here on your Superstation Joy 99.7. We're spending time with Kelvin Lochu Tyrone,
Yeah.
who is the communications, should I say, manager for Growth Factor, a newly born 10-month-old new entrepreneurial company. And the service they offer it's one that's quite interesting. You know, all of the things we've heard on this show are how to do this, how to brand, how to do that, or even how to grow vegetables like we had last week from Bob. But you are offering financial support. And I'm sure that everyone listening this afternoon who's an entrepreneur or who wants to go into entrepreneuring
Yeah.
will be excited about this. And you know, what excites me most is when you said that it's not limited to agriculture.
Yeah.
So if I want to set up a business and I need money, what you're saying is that I can come to you guys and get the money.
Yes, exactly.
Let me ask this question. In terms of the data available for the provision of financial services, it certainly points in a certain direction. And just to be safe, it is a viable business, but it's a business in which you also have to be extremely careful.
Yeah, there's a lot of
One,
risk.
because of the regulator. Number two, because there are a lot of, the default rate is high.
Yes.
I mean, in banks, they talk about non-performing loans. In non-bank financial institutions, it's pretty much the same. What it is technically is that people take money for something, they don't pay back, regardless of the securities they give you. What data analysis did you guys do to decide that you want to go into such a high-risk business?
Okay, so the thing with non-performing loans is this. So when you walk up to the bank and you're saying you want a loan from the bank, they do a risk assessment on your business.
Right.
But the thing is, we do a risk assessment on your client. And we don't pick up clients that are on the same level as you. Probably we pick someone that has been running business for like 10 years before you. That's the reason why they're able to force you to take payments in terms like 30 to 180 days. So I'd like to mention names if I'm allowed, to types of clients.
I usually
I've seen, okay, let's just say.
just
so,
be general, just be generic.
So large multinationals
Yes.
that you deal with, that's one of those are types of. We take local businesses though, but they have to have a good track record of payment. So when we look at the analysis of those people are likely to pay back, because if you're a client to them, an example, you're doing supplies every month, they need you to keep coming back.
Right.
So that's the kind of risk analysis we're doing. We are not checking your bank statements. You don't have to
Tax
bring us.
returns and all of
We
that.
are not taking a lot of documentation from you. So it's a quick way to get the working capital loan without collateral. Basically, very fast.
I'd like to say at this point a very big good afternoon to Uncle Ken Thompson. If you are listening, good afternoon to you, Masterclass. Because of the next thing I'm going to say, Uncle Ken will tell you that, you know, you can get money from family, from friends, and the third category, which is... the afternoon is too hot to mention that. But the third category is the kind of people, the group which will give you money and not ask for any security. And it's beginning to sound to me like when you don't ask for paperwork, you would most probably fall in the third category.
Sure.
If your focus is on the client of your client and their ability to pay your client, does that not then leave a certain portion of risk? Some people will receive the money, they won't pay. It's not as if they haven't been paid. You know, so then we're assuming that non-payment is only based on them not receiving the receiver.
Exactly.
Some will receive the payment. They are chronic defaulters. How does your business cater for people like that?
So the thing is, when you come to us, we give you a bank account where you have to take to your client. So the payments are not coming to you anymore; they are coming to us.
Right. Right.
So, and we inform your client of everything. You inform your client of the whole arrangement. So, all payments that are supposed to be sent to you are sent to us, and everything is completed through an electronic platform. So, the moment payment hits us, you don't owe us. We deduct our parts. Everything's sent to your bank account straight.
So then you do the collections.
Yes.
That's an intelligent way of looking at it, but because otherwise you can't mitigate your risks. But again, and I ask this question, that the person coming to you for money is at a disadvantage. You are negotiating from a position of strength.
Yes.
How fair is it to the one coming to you for money when he says, I've mortgaged all of my rights to you, you take my payment, and you give me what's fair?
Everything is stated out in documentation, legal documentation. So we agree on pricing before everything's put, it's initiated. We don't force you to take certain arrangements. So we negotiate, so we all agree on the pricing. Aside what we use our credit scoring platforms for.
Right.
The rates they pull out, if you feel like the rates are a bit too much for you, we can find a way to adjust it based on who you are and how your business operates.
Are you guys aware there's a credit bureau in Ghana?
Yes, there is.
Do you use them at all?
They are part of the data points that we use.
They're part of the data points. And I think that you should, maybe we'll just take this opportunity here on the show to mention that there is a credit bureau in this country, and your credit history is available for anybody who wants to loan you money. So I think one of the things, just to encourage companies like Growth Factor, let's desist from this chronic habit of deliberately defaulting. I'm using that phrase guidedly. Some people are just deliberate and chronic defaulters. They will kill companies and initiatives like Growth Factor. But we're saying that there are people who genuinely also need support to be able to start one thing or the other. They just need that break. All they need is that interest-free loan, interest-free whatever, or low
interest
loans,
exactly,
so that they can put the product out there. Since you provide this service across industry, surely there must be a certain priority for you as a company. You would not just cast your seats abroad generically. You would look at the industries that are likely to bring you consistent and good return. Is there a priority list?
Okay, so priority list. So
in terms of industry.
Yes. Industry. So if you're a supplier to, say, hotels, that's one industry we found where there's a lot of,
traction there.
There's a lot of traction, exactly. That's the right word. Because they have to supply a lot of things to the hotel. And the thing is, the hotel deals with a lot of clients, so things are being used constantly. So also another industry is the agricultural sector, as I stated.
Right.
So if you're supplying things, consumables to a factory, obviously they're processing every day. Food is eaten every single day. So those are another target to clients. Another target to clients is the media industry. Those who do things for, say, advertising for large institutions. They're also part of our target list. Another one is also those who do tracking. So if you're doing tracking for large organizations, the thing is, they'll have a long list of things to pull out on their schedule.
Right.
And they'll pay you at the end of the month. But the things, you need to pay your drivers, you need to fuel your trucks. There's another way to go after, another way to get it. Those are another part of our clients also.
Growth Factor is 10 months old?
Yes.
Where do you get your money from? Because, you are it's a very interesting thing we're talking about. I'm sure most of my listeners will begin to call, perhaps maybe I should just put this out. The numbers, to call, I'll put them out shortly. But you can send us a WhatsApp ahead of us opening the phone lines on 0244 340 437. That's 0244 340 437. Christmas is coming, and I asked a lot of questions about how you are planning. One of the greatest, problems in entrepreneurship is financing, apart from, all the other things that come in. Here is a company right here on Joy FM this afternoon telling you that they are in the business of providing you funds so you can do your business. And they're not even asking you for security. They have a different approach, and the approach is that they will look at the person to whom you are giving your services and make an arrangement that the payment comes in directly to them. For all those who are listening this afternoon, for all those entrepreneurs who need this kind of support, genuinely, give us a call when we open the phone lines. Get to know who these guys are and start your business. We want to grow entrepreneurship in Ghana. We want Ghana to become a nation that feeds itself. Ghana beyond aid. That's how we're going to be able to do it. When we create that traction right in here and we have homegrown businesses who provide the support.
Exactly.
And it's a value chain. When the support is provided, then somebody can deliver something, then some service can be, provided, somebody can earn a salary, and people get employed.
Exactly.
And we pay more taxes.
Definitely.
Right. Good afternoon, Mr. Finance Minister. Okay. So,
could I say something
go ahead.
about, in terms of, you mentioned something very important about the credit,
right,
the way credit works. I really feel like the credit system is a bit broken in Ghana. And I think one thing that they can do to fix this is to make sure that credit should be tied to everything. Because I know we take a lot of things on credit. The thing I'm seeing that helps the credit systems works outside the countries because credit is tied to everything. If you do something and your credit is bad, it ties you down generally. So I really feel like if there's a way the credit system can be spread across, even businesses that are giving you things on credit, like say even an SOS loan you get from your telecommunications provider,
Right.
all those can be tied together. They can find out whether you're a good payer, you pay your debts on time, all those things, whether you're paying your electricity bills, your light bills on time. If all those things are tied together and they come together to make a credit score, I really feel like it will really motivate the person to pay up, because I feel like if I don't pay, someone's not going to give me credit, and it's going to incentivize people to do it. It's not incentivizing me right now. If I run away, I can get to another bank, get another loan. That's what the non-performing loans.
Oh, but now it's not that easy. Yeah, this credit bureau thing. I think I'm happy with the point you just made. It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
Hitherto, Ghana didn't even have a credit bureau. Now, with all the banks, you cannot take a loan and they will check. They will go to the credit bureau and they will check your history. Hitherto, bank one can give you a loan. You walk to bank 2 tomorrow. You default in bank 1. They'll give you another loan. Now, when they're giving you a loan, they check. And like you're saying, it's got to spread across, not just from the banks, but to every aspect of our lives. I think it's work in progress.
Yeah,
but we'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Let me open the phone lines now. Phone lines are now open. If you just tuned in, you're live on your Superstation Joy 99.7. This is Masterclass. We're having an exciting discussion in the studio with Kelvin Lochu Tyrone from Ada, all the Ada people, your boys in the studio. And he is a communications manager for a company called Growth Factor. Growth Factor. What they do, you'll be amazed. They give you financing for your business without all the red tape of the securities that the other institutions will give you. I'm sure you're asking, how is that done? How is that done? Give us a call by all means. Numbers to call, 0302-216-541. That's 0302-216-541. Give us a call. You want to interact with our guests in the studio and find out how you can also get funding or financing for your business, particularly in this Yuletide. And the exciting thing is that they don't only finance things in one sector, whether it's agriculture, whatever. They finance across industry. I'm sure that people want to know what your oh, I already have a caller on the line. We're gonna have to take this call. 1 second. Good afternoon. You're welcome to Masterclass.
Yes, good afternoon.
Talk to me. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Stephen.
Right. Talk to me, Stephen.
Yes, so they talk about the major clientele is multinational companies. And so if I have a business idea for a telecom company,
Yes.
and I need the machinery or the equipment to deliver that service, would they be able to give the financial support? And the last question is, what is their minimum or maximum amount of money they give out, as loans?
Right. Stephen, please keep listening. We'll try and answer that question. So that was Stephen from Mankasim. He wants to know, I think he got your earlier statement wrong. I asked him about his preferred area of service industry, because they're also a business. But that's not to say that they will not provide support for telecom.
No,
right?
the telecoms is an open area for us.
It's an open area. But he wants to know the matrices for how much can you give per loan, what's the interest rate and all that. Hold on to that. I've got Kwesi from Adenta. Sure. Let's talk to Kwesi. Good afternoon, Kwesi. You're welcome to Masterclass.
Oh, hi, good afternoon. Kevin, well, you're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, sir. Would you factor an invoice that is drawn on a government department?
Okay, Kwesi, please keep listening. We'll try and answer that question. He wants to know, would you factor an invoice that's drawn on a government? Are there any areas that you don't finance? But let's answer his question first. On the government department.
Government department, you walk up to us, we'll have a discussion. It really depends on a number of things.
Okay, so really it's possible. Kwesi, it's possible, but walk up to them, they can help you. We're going to talk about the matrices. Please keep that question. I've got Leonard from Dantuman. Good afternoon, Leonard. You're welcome to Masterclass.
Oh, okay. I just want to ask your gentleman. Good afternoon to him in the studio and to you as well.
Good afternoon.
And to church listeners. Well, I create employment, but I don't have a means of advertisement.
Right.
And whenever you go to the radio, the cost is so high. We don't know if they also give out loans for such people. I teach how to do so many things.
Right.
So many things.
Right. Okay. Leonard, please keep listening. We'll try and answer that question. He wants to go into advertising very quickly. I've got another caller on the line. Can he get support from your company?
Yes. If you fit the criteria I just described about someone delaying your payments, definitely you can get
So the answer is yes to you, Leonard. I've got Samuel from Tema. Good afternoon, Samuel. You're welcome to Masterclass.
Yeah, I'm Samuel calling from Tema.
Yes, Samuel, talk to me.
Yeah, actually, I'm also into, let me say, commercial farming.
Right.
And then I think I need the support, actually. I need the financial support at the moment now. And I want to ask if they have any support for such people.
Okay. Do they have any support for you? Please keep listening. We'll try and answer that question. Samuel's question is similar to Leonard's. He wants to know whether he can have support for the business that he's into.
Yeah, he can.
Okay.
Commercial farming, you can have support from us.
Okay, so I suppose it's easier for you because they started from agriculture, if I can say that. So
yes.
he's able to help you there as well. I have another caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're welcome to Masterclass.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yes. Your name? Where you're calling from?
Yes, my name's Ike from Tema.
Right. Talk to me, Ike.
Okay. My issue is I'm into the medical field. Okay.
Right.
And most of our clients is in the government sector.
Right.
We do supplies of medical equipment and other stuff, consumables.
Okay.
And you know, government, the payment goes beyond probably 3-4 months and even more. How well are you able to stand if such a company comes to you for an assistance and the payment terms?
Okay, all right. Ike's question is that for companies that pay only after 3 months, that's like delayed payments.
Yeah.
Are you able to accommodate situations like that?
So far as you can prove to us that your client is reliable. So we mostly it's best if you don't have a client that's very popular. You should have a record of dealing with the client. If you've been dealing with the client for up to 6 months or 3 months, and they've been paying consistently. So we do something called an invoice agent analysis. That's part of also the credit points that we look at. So if you check and your client pays back consistently, that's another point for you to get access to a loan.
So it's possible for him to get financing.
Exactly.
Right. In trying to answer Stephen's question, I think there's another question on social media. Is it Kweku? He wants to know what are the interest rates. I'm sure that they are varied based on the volume of business.
Yes, they vary.
How much loan do you give per period? And, what are the interest rates? Very quickly, because I've got another caller on the line.
The rates, the amounts, everything really depends on what the type of business, the industry you're doing. But the least amount you can get interest rate is 2%.
2%?
It can go as high, it can go higher.
Okay.
So it really depends. So the algorithm begins from 2,
okay.
and as the things pile on, the rates increase.
Okay. So at the minimum interest rate you can look at is 2% of X, depending on the size of your business, the type of business, what the risk assessment comes out of the normal.
Who your client is.
I've got Godson from Tema. Let's talk to Godson. Good afternoon, Godson. You're welcome to Masterclass.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Godson. I'm from Tema.
Right.
I supply coconut to hotels.
Okay.
And the cost of transporting the coconut from villages to Accra to the hotels are very expensive. And sometimes getting transport from those villages are quite tedious. So I want to know if I can access some funding to deal with my transportation problems.
Yes. So if your client, say the hotel delays payment and you need that cash in order to turn around and take your financing, we can help you. Or if you want something more tailored, you can come up to us and we'll see if we can develop something for you. So just reach out to us. So
okay, sure. Then I'm sure I can get the number as I'm listening to the program.
By all means. Thank you so much, Godson. I think at this point we should put out the number and the website as well. So this is the number right here. Please mention it.
So the number is 050-497-1538. So you can reach me on that line. And our website is www.growthfactor.io. So GROWTHFACTOR. Growthfactor.io.
Okay, let's take the number slowly again this time.
050 497
1538. 1538. Okay, and that's the number through which you can be reached.
Yes.
I've got Sam from Article. Sam says, may I know the name of the company? What's the name of the company?
The name of the company is Growth Factor.
Growth Factor. Can they help with a startup capital? Yes, they can?
Yes.
Right. Any particular area? Poultry, piggery, farming?
We pick any.
They do all. Okay.
If you fit the criteria, you have a client that's delaying your payments. You need to keep things moving fast.
Okay. And what's the criteria again?
So the criteria, as I just mentioned, is if you have a client that's delaying payment and pays back, you have a reliable client that delays payment. But you need to turn around things because maybe you have more clients than just one, or you have your orders require more cash to process. Yes. That's our criteria for picking up an invoice from a business.
Right. I was going to ask you in terms of financing.
Yes.
How did you guys get the financial muscle?
So we've raised a round of funding. We are looking to raise more to expand our business. We're also looking to partner with other financial institutions to see how we can work things out. So in terms of financial muscle, we are covered. Yes.
Okay. So what? You have financiers?
Yes, we have financial individuals that back us, and we've raised a round of funding also from other investors.
Okay. I know you guys are young, in the industry,
yes.
But this is financial services.
Yes.
What discussions have taken place, if you like, on your regulator?
Yes. So we've looked in terms of the SEC, in terms of trying to understand if we are covered. But we're not taking funds from the public, so that's one thing. We're not taking funds from the public for now. Before we're going to get into that side, we'll find a way to make sure we're regulated by them. Right now, they're bringing out the regulatory sandbox, so that's one thing we're looking to step into, because we know they may not necessarily understand how the business of technology works, because mostly what we're doing, everything happens online, in terms of the credit points, everything, how it works. So we're looking to get into the regulatory sandbox, so they can see how things are working, and we get the full approval to go full scale.
But just so we also put this into perspective, you're only 10 months old.
Yes.
When did you guys register?
We registered. It's been some months.
It's been some months while you were going through the challenge.
Yes,
and so clearly, in terms of your regulatories, these are boxes that you definitely are ticking.
Yes, we need. Those are things we need to.
You want to be compliant.
Yes,
because I think a few of the social media comments are asking about the regulator, Bank of Ghana, and all of that. Yeah, I think it sounds too good to be true. This is a Wednesday afternoon, for crying out loud, and suddenly they can get credit without all the security the traditional ways.
Yes.
They want to ask those questions. So the assurance is that these are boxes you are ticking.
Yes.
You're good with the SEC.
Yes.
You're having discussions with the Bank of Ghana.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. You want to say something?
Yeah. So in terms of how to get moving things forward.
Yeah.
We're looking to see how we can make sure we are covering everything in terms of the regulations and everything. But we're not taking public funds in outside now.
Okay.
So everything we're using is our own funds. So we don't have any issues.
This is you being Father Christmas.
Yes. So we don't have any issues with any regulatory.
Okay, time check in the studio, 54 minutes past the hour of 1. This is Masterclass. We have time to take just a few more calls, and then we will be rounding up the show. We're spending time in the studio with Kelvin Tyrone Luchu, Communications Manager for Growth Factor, a newly born company in Ghana, another entrepreneuring endeavor, which is going to help us grow entrepreneurship in Ghana. Final question, and then we sort of round up our discussion.
Sure.
You're young. You haven't had any defaulters yet.
Yes.
People have gone ahead of you. They have been able to manage the defaulters well. Some have also not been able to manage the defaulters well. There is history in this country. Yeah. I'm not going to mention any names of people who have had a rather aggressive posture to recovery, because at some point people just do not want to pay. The banks will go through a rather diplomatic approach, go through the courts, sometimes 3 years, 4 years. Even when they have a judgment, in executing the judgment, they have to be careful. There are interpleaders and all of that. What is your strategy to deal with defaulters? I'm sure you've heard of the acronym NPLs. In the banks, it means non-performing loans.
Yes.
And it's a big thing.
Yeah.
The Bank of Ghana will let you provision for them at the end of any financial year.
Yeah.
So what is your strategy to deal with people who would default?
Okay, so in terms of people who will not pay back our defaulters, we have run everything through an insurance. I think it's a win-win for both the SME and us if we get insurance for the invoice you bring to us. Because if your client does not pay back, the insurance company indemnifies us and then goes after your client. You get it? So it's not immediately they refuse. They'll give them some leeway. So if after a number of months they're not paying back, then it's certain this client does not want to pay you. And it's not someone you should be doing business with, because you're not in the business of providing services and walking away. You're in the business of providing services to create value, so you can also keep your business moving and keep yourself alive. So it's a win-win for both of us. So we have insurance to take care of defaulters also. But it doesn't happen. It's not something that kicks in immediately. There's some time to give to ensure that, to see if they can follow up, try and get the money. And if it hasn't happened, then it kicks in.
Sure. Right. So then it means your premiums are going to go up, right?
Yeah, it's part of the price, and it's a win-win for both of us, both the SME and us. So you don't have to stress about handling who's paying your loan, for your services on time. Also,
where can you be found? Online, you just given us your URL, www.growthfactor.io.
Yes.
Right. Where can you be found physically?
So our offices are in East Legon. We are on the 19 Banana Street. I don't know if that's an easy way to find it. Yes. So we are near American House. So if anything, just give us a call. We'll figure a way out to meet you. And you can find us on Google also. If you look If you Google, you can find our product name, Invoicia. Nvoicia. So it's invoice without an I and then IA at the end. So
Please say that again, sorry.
Invoicia. So Nvoicia.
Okay.
So if you Google that, you'll be able to find us online, and then you'll be able to get directions to our office.
How is Invoicia related to Growth Factor?
So the thing is, Growth Factor is the parent company.
Right.
Invoicia is the product I've been talking about all this while.
Right.
Yes.
So you're going to come up with a lot more products.
Yes, more products in areas of credit and supply chain finance. That's where our focus
So
is.
the name of this product is called Invoicia.
Invoicia. Yes.
Give us your final words.
Yes.
From this discussion today. What should people take away from this discussion?
All I'll say to all SMEs out there, all startups, is you don't have to wait for so long if your clients are not paying on time, but you know they're going to pay and you need to keep things moving in your business. You don't have to wait and die. I ran a business myself before I got into this, and this was one of the things that shut me down.
Right.
So I really feel like if you have this problem, you can walk up to us. That's one of the motivations for us putting this together. I and my teammates. Shout out to Indy Freke, Samuel, and Tumi.
Right.
They are out of the country and they'll be back soon.
Okay,
So,
these are members of your team?
Yeah, these are members of my team.
Okay, right. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful time spending time with you. I wish we had a lot more time, but this is money that's available to grow entrepreneurship.
Definitely.
It's a brilliant thing. This has been Masterclass Radio in the Superstation. We've spent time here with Kelvin Tyrone Lochu, who is the communications manager for Growth Factor, a new company that is only 10 months old, but that is willing to help you secure funding for your business. Next week, we spend time again with another company, Profish, I think they're called, and they will also be telling us their story. Next month, we want to go into an entirely different area of discussion. That's personal branding and business etiquette. Personal branding and business etiquette. This has been Masterclass right here on the Superstation. Always make a date with us. Same time next week. My name is Yalbana. Up next is a news at 2. Thank you for listening, and see you same time next week.
Sure.